managers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that makes sense.
yeah.
They make good money
Yeah.
renting
We
places
did,
out.
we were at a house on 4th of July, Topsail Island, in North Carolina.
Oh,
When
okay.
my daughter got married. That
Same
was
as Stacy.
beautiful. And then just a couple weeks ago,
Oh,
we were
same here.
There you
Mhm.
She had an Airbnb place that we rented.
Oh, yeah?
Remember the
Never.
house right on the water?
Nice.
How they doing last week?
I know there's
Oh, good. It
one
works as
actually on our
usual.
street
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
that she does. And, there's a couple up at Manitow Beach.
Okay today?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
where we are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everything turned out okay. Good.
I'll raise your hands.
No cancer. No. They think it's nerve damage from the treatments from previous cancer.
My girl.
We do the slowest 4 minutes ever.
We could start a little early. What's the difference around here? I know. Okay, it's almost 7:30. We'll call the meeting to order. The location of the fire exit doorways are at either end of the hallway. In case of emergency, the AED machine hangs directly on the wall across from that door. And please turn off all cell phone and pagers. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Norman Vaz,
Here.
Rocky Ellsworth,
Here.
Ed Hake,
Here.
Carol Roth,
Here.
and Jonathan Vogler is excused.
Okay, move down to the approval of the minutes, September 20th, 2021. Any additions, deletions, or corrections? If not,
I'll make a motion on the minutes.
Second.
motion made by Carl Roth, second by Eddie Hay to approve the minutes of September 20th, 2021 as presented. Clerk, please pull the vote.
Norman Vaz,
Aye.
Rocky Ellsworth,
Aye.
Ed Hake,
Aye.
Carol Roth.
Carried. Okay, shall you please show the proof of our public hearing? Okay, thank you. All right, Laura Crossetti,
Yep.
625 Weiler Road.
Hi, my name's Laura Crossetti, and I'm here to ask for a variance so that I can have my shed in front of my house line.
Okay. Yeah, we were there Saturday, it rained pretty hard.
I know.
We looked at
I'm
the
sorry that you had
Yeah.
such hard rain that day.
Yes. What was the size of the shed?
It's 10 by 12.
10 by 12, okay.
And it's brand new. It's in very, I'm sure you saw, it's in very good repair. There just
Yeah,
isn't another place that we can put it on our property.
No.
That's why we put it there in the first place. And
Because the woods is so close to.
I know, and the stream's on the other side, so they're really, I'm sorry, but there's, yeah. It's the only other
Okay.
place we had.
Are there any questions for any board members?
Well, looking at it explains it all.
Yeah, I know. That is one purpose of on-site inspection, to really see what you're dealing with.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, at this point in time, open up for a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak for or against this proposal, please give your name and address. No one here, I hear no one or see no one. I declare this public hearing closed. Okay, board, any other questions? If not, I'll read through our. Okay, number 1, whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or detriment to nearby properties will be created by the grantee of the area variance. No, I would say no. Okay, number 2,
Same thing.
What? Whether the benefits sought by the applicant can be achieved by some feasible method other than an area variance. I don't know how. I would say no. Number 3, whether the requested area variance is substantial. Not really.
No.
It's just a small shed, I would say no. Number 4, whether the proposed area variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood district.
No.
No, okay. Last one, number 5, whether the alleged difficulty was self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the zoning board of appeals, but shall not necessarily preclude the granting of the area variance.
They want the shed, but there's nowhere else it can
No,
go.
there
The one
isn't.
place to put the shed.
Not the way that property is developed, and that property's been that way for a long time.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, to grant the application of Laura Cressetti for property at 625 Weiler Road, seeking relief from Town Code 520-31B, to allow a structure to be erected in front of the front foundation of the principal dwelling. This is the minimum variance that will grant relief. No effect on the character of the neighborhood or the environment. It's no concerns from the neighborhood, and this is a type 2 seeker.
Second.
Motion made by Rocky Ellsworth, second by Eddie Hay, to approve the area variance requested by Laura Cressetti, 625 Weiler Road, for the keeping of a shed on the property. Clerk, please poll the vote.
Norm Vaz,
Aye.
Rocky Ellsworth,
Aye.
Ed Hay,
Aye.
Carl Rock.
Carried. Okay. You're all set with your shed.
Thank you.
It's a nice looking one.
Thank you, thank you,
Have a good evening.
thank you.
Dwayne Wolfer.
Doing Whooper, asking for a variance on a addition onto an existing barn on 218 Ketchum Road.
Yeah, you had it marked, very well
Yes,
marked.
the orange ribbon there?
Yes,
Yes,
stood
we
right out.
appreciate that.
Is that you utilized for more storage, is that? the reason?
Yes.
So this one is just, everything's legal except the buildings, okay?
And there's also a variance on the distance between one building and the other.
Yes.
10.3.
Is there any other questions for any board members? It will be added on, it'll be exactly like the building existing there right now. I mean,
Yes, it'll be the same width, and it'll be 28 feet long,
Same type of structure.
It'll be a step down from the roof, just because it's going from shingle to metal.
Oh, okay. So the roof line actually will be lower,
Yes.
okay, all right. Any further questions from any board members? If not, at this point in time, open up for a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak for or against this proposal, please give your name and address. Oh, it's a quiet room tonight.
Well, I'm at 300 Ketchum, and I don't see a problem at all. I mean, it matches the buildings that are there presently, and nothing wrong with it.
All right. Anyone else? If not, at this point in time, I declare this public hearing closed. Any other questions we have, or? Oh, geez. Sorry. Go through my 5 statements. I've been here a long time. I have trouble. We never used to do this. Number 1, whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby property will be created by the granting of the area variance. No. Number 2, whether benefits sought by the applicant can be achieved by some feasible method other than an area variance. I don't know how.
With the existing building, not really, but
Number 3, whether the requested area variance is substantial.
no.
So that would be no. Number 4, whether the proposed area variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood district. Blends in pretty much with the whole neighborhood. I would say no. Last one, number 5, whether the alleged difficulty was self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the zoning board of appeals, but shall not necessarily preclude the granting of the area variance.
Again, they're looking to add on to an existing building, so to do that, they need the variances self-created to add on to the existing building.
I mean, he wants it so it's self-created, but there isn't any other way to do it, basically.
Okay.
I'd make a motion in the application of Dwayne Wolfer for property at 218 Ketchum Road, seeking relief from Town Code 520-27C to have 2 structures. He's a variance for 2 existing accessory structures that are in front of a front main foundation line of the principal dwelling. Also, a variance of 3 feet from Town Code 520-27C to put an addition on the existing accessory structure, and will bring it to less than 10 feet from the second building on the property. Again, this is the minimum allowed. There was no negative feedback during the public hearing. It's a type 2 seeker.
Second.
Motion made by Eddie Hayes, second by Rocky Ellsworth, to approve the application for an area variance for Dwayne Wolfer, 218 Ketchum Road, for the addition to an existing accessory structure. Clerk, please call the vote.
Norman Vaz,
Aye.
Rocky Ellsworth,
Aye.
Ed Hay,
Aye.
Carol Rock.
Okay, Mr. Wolfer, you're all set.
Okay, thank you very much.
And by the way, your property looks very nice.
Thank you.
Okay, that takes care of the public hearing. To move down our agenda. Chris Wakeman. You're looking to put up a fence in your backyard?
That's correct.
You're looking for an 8-foot fence?
Yes, just along the back. I plan on, there's already an existing fence to the north. I would plan on going along the back, this is what I want this variance for, with an 8-foot stockade type fence, and then match what's on the other side of me to the south with a regular 4-foot chain link fence.
Okay. Do you have animals, dog or?
I do. I have 2 dogs that are currently constantly put on chains every winter, and that's getting to be a pain. To lock them, let one in and out like that, it's be much easier. My wife says we had a fence, keeping them in, wouldn't have to worry about putting them on the little cable every time, and so we're working toward that end.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right. Any other questions for any board members? We can schedule a public hearing and go from there.
That'd be great. Appreciate it.
See, it's 4-foot chain link fence on either side and 8-foot.
That's right, yeah, because currently right now we've got our shrubbery that we're planting and our neighbors have planted. That affords us pretty good privacy on the sides. It's just along the back where the ditch is that we've got, we don't get much privacy. And then being that the land is pitched as they all are,
Right.
coming from where they meet, 6 foot doesn't quite cover it. I don't get a lot of privacy. I wouldn't get a lot of privacy, at least along the back line with a 6-foot fence.
Okay. We can schedule a public hearing, go from there.
I'll make a motion, we schedule a public hearing for Christopher Wegman, 29 Drake Road, on November 15th after 7:30. Seeking relief from Town Code 520-29B for a 8-foot high fence on the rear of the property.
Second.
Motion made by Carl Ross, second by Rocky Ellsworth to schedule a public hearing for Christopher Wigman, 29 Drake Road, for November 15th after 7:30. For variance needed for an 8-foot fence in the rear. Clerk, please poll the vote.
Norman Vaz,
Aye.
Rocky Ellsworth,
Aye.
Ed Haight,
Aye.
Carl Rock.
Okay. You're all set.
Thank you.
Save your money prior to
November 3rd.
November 3rd.
I'll do that.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. All right, Dean. Dean Hess. You'd like to tell the board what you'd like to do?
I'd like to put up a 32 by 50 metal building, 12-foot porch roof on the east side, and I would like a variance to put it about 80 foot back to run utilities and things and the stone and everything else a little more reasonable. That's really why I would like to keep it up. That way I can grade that corner of the yard in nicer and match it in.
Okay. Yeah, I see in the map the location of it. That's east of your house, right?
That's correct.
Right.
East right along that hedgerow. I got it about 45 foot off the hedgerow, 80 foot back. The leach field's over there, so I'm up a good distance from that. And that gives me area just in case I want to ever expand out. But for me, I don't need it any deeper because I like a big driveway because I tinker on stuff more than just the cars or trucks.
Yeah, I would say a bulldozer is bigger.
Well, you know,
I've known you a long time, Dave.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions from any board members? If not, then we can schedule a public hearing for next month and go from there.
Sounds like a deal.
You gonna make a motion? Let's go to a public hearing?
Yep, somebody.
I'll make a motion that we schedule a public hearing for Dean Hess of 300 Ketchum Road on November 15th after 7:30, seeking relief from Town Code 527-C, A, for a building not closer than 10 foot, or, not closer than 10 foot to any other building on the lot and in front of the main foundation of the main lot.
Second.
Motion made by Carl Rock, second by Rocky Ellsworth, to schedule a public hearing for Dean Hess, 300 Ketchum Road, for the variance needed for construction of an accessory building for November 15th after 7:30. Clerk, please hold the vote.
Norma Baz,
Aye.
Rocky Ellsworth,
Aye.
Ed Haight,
Aye.
Carl Rock.
Hey,
Okay, Dean, have your money prior to November 3rd. $75.
He's already paid.
Okay.
You already paid?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
Could,
Okay.
he says.
Well, yeah, I did.
I'll check with you tomorrow.
Dean, could you put stakes in or paint or something so we can,
Just-
Yeah, I had 2 stakes at 80 foot, about 50 foot apart.
okay.
Yeah, I'll paint it, I'll tape it off and.
Yeah, just so we can tell, 'cause we saw the bulldozer there and all, but I guess I didn't see the stakes, so.
For the-
Yeah, they were there.
Okay, well,
It was raining pretty hard.
yeah, we'll check again next month then.
No, no problem. I'll stake her out.
I'll let him use some of my big rivet.
There you go.
Okay, move down to Gregory Moser.
Good evening.
Good evening. Tell the board what
Sure.
you would like to do, or what you have, or what.
Sure. So I live at 955 Hamlin, Parma Town Line Road. My property is 3 separate tax divisions. I don't know what the proper terminology is, but they're consecutive, but my house is in the middle one, and there's a small one on the north, and there's another one on the south.
Okay.
I would like a variance so that I can build a 10 foot by 10 foot shed on the parcel that is north of my house to serve as an astronomical observatory. It will have a fold open roof that will have a telescope in there so I can look at the sky. That portion of my land has no trees on it, so it has a clear view of just about the whole sky. The section of property where my house is covered with trees, so yeah, I could put a shed there, but I couldn't use it as an observatory, so it would do me no good.
Okay. Now, is there other buildings on the same property that you'd like to put the,
So it turns out there is. I have a solar pool heater, which I don't call it a building, but it's just sits on the ground. But when Cheryl looked at the sky view map of the area, she says, you should have a permit for that. I was unaware of that, so I never applied for one. There is also a 10 by 12 foot PVC hooped greenhouse on that portion of the property. I built that last summer. I called and asked if I needed a permit for that, and I was told the greenhouse, you don't need a permit. However, when I came to talk about the shed for this observatory, again, Cheryl looked at the Skyview map on her computer and says, there should be a permit for that. So, here we are.
What size?
okay.
Also, there should be a second variance that I'm asking for. This is for the property on the south side of my house. I heat with wood, and I have 3 years worth of wood cut and stacked, drying so that it's ready to burn. And in 2016, I built the shed. I actually applied for a permit then. Cheryl came out, inspected it, told me I was good to go, but no permit exists. I don't have my copy. So in reviewing everything, she said, you really should have a variance for this. So we put that together as well.
So the shed on the south side of your home has your wood in it
That is correct.
that you burn.
That is correct.
Okay.
Are those the lean-tos when you and I spoke? The lean-tos have the wood in it. The shed also has wood inside of it? Is that what we were asking?
Yeah, well, I don't know what
Okay,
it is.
Does
so-
the shed have wood in it also?
So on the south side, where I built the lean-to, that has wood in it. There was 2 existing sheds that were there when I bought the property. One of them stores deck furniture during the winter. The other one stores the lawn care equipment, the riding mower, that kind of stuff. Those were already there when I bought the property.
What are the size of those?
There are no permits pulled for those structures, so
So they're like 10 by 12 or whatever they are?
I don't know, I haven't really seen them. When I was at this property, I was checking out the pool a while ago.
I estimate one of the existing one, the one that holds the deck furniture is 6 by 8. The one that holds the lawn equipment is 10 by 8 to 10 by 10. And again, I'm just going by memory here.
Basically, 2 fairly small
Yes.
sheds.
Yes, and the wood lean-to is 16 by 8.
Is this the former Nundy property, or is it next door to it?
I don't know that name. I'm if you're familiar with the corner of
Right,
I'm the second house to the north.
I'm trying to remember if that was Dick Nundy's or not. It would be the next one north, okay. Because I was trying to figure out how we got the narrow lot.
It was surprised to me when after I buy the house, you look at the map and says, oh, I got 3 tax bills. What's going on here? And
I'm guessing that someone was probably doing a subdivision. That's big enough to put it
That's
back to a road back to the back.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Right, well, see, that's why I was wondering if it was the former, the farm belonged to the father of one of the sons that would belong in here, so I was trying to make that connection, but I'm not sure. But you think it's the next one north, okay.
Is there a reason why you're not combining all of these properties?
Frankly, it's only because Cheryl said the variance is probably the best way to go because
Well, there's a state law that says you can't have accessory buildings on a property that doesn't have a primary residence.
I'm only here because that's what,
I mean, that would take care of, if your 2 bigger lots, you combine them into 1 tax parcel.
okay.
That would be easier for the board to give you a variance if they so choose,
Mm-hmm.
because you have a primary residence on that property.
Okay.
If, on Cheryl, on the narrow property, right, and I don't see dimensions,
Yeah.
are there gonna be, are there any side setback problems or anything?
I have not been on the property to look at that.
Okay, because I was gonna say, when we schedule the public hearing, we wanna be inclusive of all necessary variances, and when I glanced at it driving down the road, I didn't know if there might be some setback issues or not.
When I built the shed in 2016, I made sure that it was more than 5 foot from the line.
Okay.
That was part of the process of getting the permit.
Okay,
that
well, I'm
now no longer
trying to get
exists.
everything inclusive at once for you, so.
Yep.
This
Do
one
you know
probably
by any
is
chance the
existing
width of a
non-conforming.
narrow property?
I believe it's 25 feet. That's going from memory.
That's why I was wondering if we had setback problems or not, Cheryl, so.
Well, the sheds are unpermitted also, so there's more, if there's setback issues, there's
Well,
shed also.
when we schedule the public hearing, are we gonna have to leave what we're scheduling open-ended for you to get some dimension?
I can go out with a tape measure and measure it and let you guys know before you go out.
Because we want everything inclusive in one hearing.
Yeah,
Or even the
When,
greenhouse.
when
that
were
looks
these
close.
sheds built, Cheryl, do you know?
I have no idea, cause they're unpermitted.
2016?
The
Oh,
one,
the
shed?
one he says, and there was never a permit pulled or even a permit application submitted.
Is the shed big enough to require a permit?
All sheds require a permit.
Alright, so, yeah, so if you combined all three into one, that would make it a lot easier for the board to, grant, if they so chose,
Mhm.
to grant a variance.
and it would just be for multiple sheds on one property versus two properties with no primary structure.
So you advised me to go down the road of combining them into
Into one
one.
property. Mhm.
Okay,
Looks like where you live and the one north of you are pretty, in other words, the property, the lot north of you could sell that as a building lot, right? In time, if you so choose.
The lot north of.
I would assume it's pretty
It
substantial.
probably was a building lot, yeah.
It looks that size. No, I'm just throwing,
It's-
you know,
Yeah,
so
it has to be
everybody
like 2
knows.
acres, as long as it's a minimum of 2 acres. You could sell it as a building lot.
It's not 2 acres.
It's not, is it less than that?
Yeah, because I have it's like 1.9, all three properties.
Okay.
Plus, that's our.
1.9.
For all
that-
three.
For all three, yeah.
Okay,
I
all
think
right.
your best bet would be to, I think, I don't know, I would think your best bet may be to combine them, and then once that's done, come back to us for a permit for a variance for the extra sheds that you got.
Okay,
And, you know, some of them were there when you bought the property, which, I mean, we can't fault you for that, but to bring the property into compliance, you need the variance.
sure, yeah,
To
yeah.
have that on there, so.
Okay.
Or we can, if you don't wanna go that way, we can schedule a public hearing
Well,
this way.
Well, either way, he's gonna need the public hearing.
Yeah, but he's got the
Well,
planning board to give
yeah,
us
yeah.
time.
Right.
Planning board.
That would
Yes.
take some time.
Right, down the road.
well, I have no problem going down the road of combining all three to one. So, I can do that.
I mean, this is only my personal opinion, if you wanna take a little time to think about it, I don't think the town would have a problem with you, you know, but it's a decision. It's a little tough to make in a split second.
Well, so I've been thinking about it and knowing the options since Labor Day, so I'm not in a rush to make a decision. In that I've already thought about it, and I have no problem combining the three into one. And unless there's some downsides that I'm not aware of, but I don't think there are, other than cost for a surveyor.
Well, that's your decision. And,
Sure.
And, I think probably you're better off combining them, then you eliminate a lot of problems.
Okay.
I don't know how today's world, how difficult, it shouldn't be that difficult to combine them.
It should not be difficult to hire a surveyor.
Right.
And draw up a site
Can't
plan.
you just bring the tax map in for this one? He's not subdividing, he's combining.
Yeah, I will talk to the planning board attorney.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, and I'll let you know tomorrow.
Sounds
How's
good.
that sound?
That's fine.
So that you can get the ball rolling.
Thank you very much.
Okay?
Thanks.
Well, thank you for coming in.
Yeah, enjoy your evening.
And when you we'll help you any way we can, to be honest with you.
Appreciate it, thank you.
You bet. Okay, that takes care of our agenda. Move down to discussion. Anything from our legal department?
All is good.
All's good? All right, that's good. That ain't world, that's real good. All right, I have just, one comment. I attended, we lost one of our board members 6 months ago, Jerry Hoffman, to, cancer. And I attended his funeral service, which was October 3rd at St. John's. And, the military one was at, VFW in Hamlin, and I will say, it brought tears to my eyes. It was beautiful. And I miss him. Anyways, he thanked the board and the town, or his wife, Linda, thanked the town board for the patience they had, with him during his illness. And, I'll let it go at that. Anything from code enforcement?
No, nothing. Everything is going along swimmingly. I'm thinking of summertime.
Okay. All right, Jennifer?
I will say that I too miss Jerry. He was a great addition to
Yes.
this board, and he is missed.
Yep.
Couple things. We're gonna have our public hearing for our 2022 fiscal budget. It's gonna be next Wednesday, the 27th at 6:30. We did hold a public hearing last week for the opt-out of having on-site consumption and marijuana dispensaries in Hamlin. We haven't voted on it yet, but it was a fairly well-attended public hearing. The Lakeshore Sewers, one more permit is needed, so edging ever closer to being ready to go to bid, but not quite ready yet. And then the Kendall Sewer District, which will incorporate Beechwood Park, is, I guess, falling behind. They've run into some cost issues that have superseded what they originally had planned for, so they're looking at some of their options to cut costs to see what they can do to figure out how they can move that project forward.
That's an area that really needs it.
I know.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate, but hopefully they'll be able to figure it out. And that's all I have.
Well, that's not bad, it's pretty good. Any Cindy, anything?
Nope.
Well, I reckon.
Barring any further business, I move we adjourn.
Second? Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, everybody, for
Thank you.
coming.
Oh, no.
It's north and south.
It's east-west.
No, that's it, kind
Trying to reconcile how could add
One of the
anything
questions
this
is
front and
there is
backyard.
a
It would be a
And
problem.
then how to do it, the version of the properties, is there a way to do it?
Yeah.